Hey guys, Drift0r here. I'm this week's guest on SCUF Time. I'm going to be answering your questions this week, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of fun. You can see my SCUF-related products here in the front. I've got my Animal, my wireless SCUF, and the game's Vanguard, which I haven't had a bit of time to play with yet in the background. And the first question this week is actually not about me, even though I'm the guest. It's about Ozymandias here. What's up, bro? What's up? You're a good dog. What he's eyeballing is the treats that I managed to put way up here. So I think I'm going to go get those so he'll be a little bit more cooperative. But I do a show on my channel called Noob vs. Pro. And in this show, what I typically do is I green screen Ozzy, and I put him in the game. He has his own voice. A lot of people think I also do the voice of the dog, but I do not. And we argue about things. And the question is, how did Noob vs. Pro come about? It came about kind of randomly because my wife, who's recording right now, had this kind of idea to where the dog would have a voice, and she would, because the dog would chew things up, and he chewed up fiberwood, and she says, nom 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 nom, fiberwood. That's my favorite kind of wood. And we started doing more things in the voice of the dog, like, oh, you know, I can't poop in your room, well, I'll go poop in your roommate's room, things like that. Good boy. All right, bud. Prairie dog. Yeah, you're a good dog. And I took it into gaming with Bayesian Canadian. Some of you are familiar with him. So I had a dog harass him, started green screening him into commentaries, and it kind of took off. I got somebody that I know named Tom. He goes by Tom the Camera Guy these days. And we key Ozzy in, and he's kind of the typical 14-year-old angry gamer. So everything is about quick scopes and being cool and shooting noob tubes to him, and I'm more like your old school, enjoy the game sort of gamer. You're Goober Ozzy. And that's kind of how the show took off. He's got his own personality now. I got a guy that runs the Twitter full-time, Skype full-time, live stream full-time. Whoever was Tom is now Ozymandias. Yes, good boy. And I just got on a roll with it. Now the other question is, tell us a bit about Ozzy. Ozzy here, I'll scoot out of the way so you can see him. Hey, calm down, Goober. He is a 3-year-old Red Sesame Shiba Inu from a super expensive breeder, and he was also my engagement present for my wife. When I got this guy, he was a little hand hot dog, a puppy that would just fit in my hand, and he came with a ring around his neck. So when I proposed to my wife, who's filming now, I had the camera set up, and I can actually link that down there in the description maybe, and I proposed to her with a rare Japanese dog that cost me 6 months of eating sandwiches, and a ring that she designed herself. She said, yes, this is not the treat hand, Dumblock. Yeah, good boy. Good dog, smart dog. He's survived half a dozen injuries, heartworms, back problems, escape, car problems. This dog will not die. You won't. Do a few dog tricks here. Hey, Ozzy, say, nope, get up, say your prayers. Good boy, you prayed. You prayed. Did you get that? Mm-hmm. Good boy, you're a goober, Ozzy. That's about Ozzy. That's about Noob vs. Pro. Now let's move on to question number 2. Question number 2 is, why do you think the in-depth series is so popular? And this is something that I struggled with myself for a long time, because I didn't actually start out doing gaming, not the traditional gaming with a little controller like, hey guys, Drift0r here, today we're playing blah 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 and we're doing blah blah blah. What I actually did was machinima, head bobbing, telling a narrative story, and all I needed was this stick to make my Spartan's head bobble up and down. But I started out doing that. I told stories, The Lighthouse, Gift of Mercy, and I always tried really hard to make a narrative. And when Respawn was brand new, a lot of people were getting into commentary, and I wanted to do my own take, but I wasn't a really excitable, like, COMG, this is the most fun ever kind of thing. So I decided to go more analytical. It started with a friend of mine telling me that FMJ makes your guns do more damage, which it doesn't. FMJ does not make your guns do any more damage, and don't you dare tell me that. And I got online. I managed to get the game stats to prove him wrong. I kept going. I started doing gun stats next to prove this fellow wrong. And I figured there was so much misconceptions out there about the way Call of Duty works and which gun is best and what attachment does what, that maybe I could make a series out of it and maybe some people would be interested. The series exploded beyond my wildest hopes and dreams and expectations. It kind of ran out of control. I think the series is popular maybe 1 or 2 reasons. Reason number 1, it's a good place to get a video breakdown of a weapon, get the raw actual stats so that you really know what your gun is doing, why it's good, why it's bad, why it's working the way it's working. People really like the numbers behind the series. And number 2, they also like the tips. They want to get better, they want to improve themselves. The numbers help that, and I try to give people good tips that'll legitimately make them better at the game. I know everybody does tips. Everybody wants to give good tips. I really just want to make people better at Call of Duty, and I think that message gets across, and I think that's why people like the show. Question number 3 today is, people say running a YouTube channel opens up doors for you. What's a door that opened up for you, and which one made you say, wow? That is a very true saying. Running a YouTube channel has opened up a lot of doors for me. Matter of fact, it's opened up so many doors, it's pretty much the hallway of my life is now gaming. I used to be an engineer. I used to be in school doing thermal loads and forces and beams, and then I moved into business, so I was doing economics, a little microeconomics, trying to get the maximum profit, that sort of stuff. But I kept doing gaming, and gaming got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it got to the point where I can now make a living doing the things that I love to do. I like playing video games. I play video games all the time. My job is playing video games. My job is actually playing Black Ops 2, and I have a whole lot of fun playing Black Ops 2. I get to integrate my dog, my wife, my house, all this stuff. It gives me enough money to live comfortably, to enjoy my life. Pretty much all the things that you see around me are a result of gaming. I got a new house, but the one that really made me say wow, the one that kind of opened up to me the opportunities that were out there, was I just recently got back from E3. E3 is a press-only event, press-only event. It's kind of low bar to qualify as press. But I was able to go to E3 for the first time in my life. And I remember when I was a kid, when E3 was kind of what PAX is now, when it's open to the public and it's this big carnival or extravaganza palooza of people, the madness of gaming, all of the coolest and the best stuff. And I wanted to do that since I was a little kid, and I almost cried as a preteen, mind you, when they swapped over to press only and I wasn't allowed in. But I got to go. I count as press now. I got to go to E3. I got to play all these games before they came out. I got to talk to developers. I got to do what was a fantasy of mine for a long time, and I know that's just scratching the surface. At least I hope so. I think that I would hope that there's more cool things to come, but gaming is a big part of my life, and running a YouTube channel is, and they're both things that I would recommend to anybody that wants to try it. Well, that's all for this episode of SCUF Time. I hope that you enjoyed it. Drift0r out.